This is a Dragon Blazer production, and I am the little boogeyman.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Saturday night, you're always waiting for me. Saturday's eager to
Dude,
please.
kiddo, it's Monday night. Where the hell am I going?
Put up my legs and drink my troubles away. A great show is all that I need. Let's talk about fun. Let's talk about laughs.
Mr. Sajak, I'd like to buy a ball, please.
Let's talk about best night I ever had. Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Lorne Michaels Will Hate This SNL podcast. I am, of course, your host, Stevie Blaze. And as always, is my lovely co-host, the Lady Jen. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Not super lovely. I'm looking kind
Not-
of a mess. But I'm here. I am
You're-
here on time. Ready to
You're-
record.
I mean, in fairness, I started us early, so
We
you
all
were-
almost had a shower, Jen, but you know,
oh no, they
this is
can
far more
smell-
ladylike. I feel like, you know, back in the times of ladies, they showered less.
That's right. Especially in the 80s, we're fine.
Yes.
So this is an interesting episode. I don't even know if you realize this, but you realize there was no host in this episode.
Yeah, I remember they said that. Somebody said that somebody had canceled.
Yeah, somebody canceled apparently, and they had no host, so they just kind of gave Billy Crystal the monologue. Billy Crystal was kind of a big deal at the time, and I think this was his first season as a main alum.
Okay, I was going to ask. He was a cast member.
He was a cast member at this time, yeah.
Okay.
This was the first episode for Martin Short as well. Who you might
Funny.
I love Martin Short. So let's start off first with the number one song. Obviously, we got new stuff
Yay!
because this is
And who doesn't love 80s music?
that's right. And I think you may recognize the person singing here.
All right.
Here we are. Let's go. Go nuts.
I still couldn't tell you who's singing it.
Huh?
I still couldn't tell you who it is. And
You
so
don't-
bad at names.
You don't know who this is?
No.
Well, technically it's Prince and the Revolution.
Oh. Yeah. I should've
You know
known
who
that.
Prince is, of course, right?
I know. You know how I know who Prince is?
Oh my gosh. You need a reason?
The first time I'd ever heard of Prince, we were in junior high and Angie Lee moved. in.
Okay.
And everybody was like, she looks like Prince. She looks like Prince. And I had no idea what they were talking about. None.
Wow.
So that's when I learned who Prince was, when we were in junior high. Because everybody said Angie looked like Prince.
Huh.
I know, right?
Wow.
I know. You were not expecting that, were you?
I was not. But yeah, that was Prince and the Revolution. Let's Go Crazy. It's not one of the songs I really think of when I think of Prince. I'm thinking of
Right.
like Little Red Corvette, or Raspberry
Purple
Beret,
Rain.
or Tonight We're Gonna Party Like It's 1999. Those songs. But I do know Let's Go Crazy. I recognize the song. I didn't know it was called Let's Go Crazy, and apparently that was before he was just Prince. He was
Oh.
Prince in the Revolution. But
Learning all kinds of new stuff. I had no idea.
that was the number one song. And then we have, of course, another new number one movie. Now, this movie I have never heard of. We're gonna watch a trailer.
Oh, okay.
The movie is called Teachers, and it stars Nick Nolte. Yeah,
We know I'm bad at names, so I don't know who that is.
I don't know this movie, so here it is.
What the hell are you guys running here? A zoo? The school psychologist has flipped out, and if that's not enough, one of your kids tries to eat one of your teachers. Mr. Abel, what the...
Our client is suing the school because he graduated, but he can't read or write.
They're going to try to prove that John Calvin was knowingly promoted, when in fact, he should have failed.
Got it! This place is unbelievable.
It's not a school anymore. It's a loony bin.
Yes! Where the hell's my desk?
Well, this place is a joke.
What do you mean it's a joke?
Well, you're being sued by some kid because you didn't teach him nothing.
You're getting a chance here, Eddie. Take it. Sure beats the hell out of stealing cars.
We're not here to worry about one kid. We're here to get as many of these kids through the system with what we got.
The damn school wasn't built for us, Roger. It's built for them.
Half of them aren't even coming back after the alarm.
But half will.
You're crazy, you know that?
I'm a teacher.
Hey, it's your movie.
Right? I mean, I definitely feel for some of that.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so
Oh Lord, when we're done filming,
okay.
I'll tell you the tea from today.
Okay. I'm aware
Like-
what tea means.
My husband said the same thing when I was like, let me give you the tea.
I'm hip with the lingo.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. So yes. So we went a little forward in time and we watched the 10th season.
And it was
episode
worth
1.
it.
Episode 1. Now, I have mixed feelings, okay? I did enjoy. This has some iconic skits.
It's funny. It was funny.
It's got some iconic skits, but this still didn't feel like normal Saturday Night Live.
Really?
And there's a
Because
couple reasons. There's a couple reasons for that.
Okay.
Number one, Lorne Michaels is gone at this time.
Okay.
Our Lord and Savior Lorne Michaels that we have on this podcast. Don't shoot me down, God. But Lorne Michaels is gone. He left, I believe, in 1980 or 81. And was gone until 1985. Next season after this, Lorne Michaels comes back.
Why does he come back? Was it bad, like doing badly?
I figured we'll save that for. I didn't look that up, so we'll save that for when he leaves and everything. I'll look more into it. But yeah, he is gone at this present time. Nick Ebersol, I believe, is running the show right now. He is on the show currently, or in the episodes we're on too. But I think he was something else, like producer or something.
But not like the main writer guy.
But not the main guy.
Do they just have the one main writer guy right now? Like in present?
No, they have multiple, right? A lot of your cast members are writers.
Okay.
Like, as well. Like different cast members will write different skits.
And was this true back in the day?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Like I know Chevy Chase was a very big writer in the early episodes. That Michael Donahue is a big writer from those early episodes. He was only a cast member for like first couple episodes, and then you see him here and there. But he's the one that writes those really awkward sketches, like the psycho serial killer on the that was phone calling. Like that's Michael Donahue stuff. Like his are normally kind of dark in the early seasons, but not every single cast member is a writer, but a lot of cast members do write.
Okay.
And then they also have writers behind the scenes as well. But Lauren is the one that approves things, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's normally that person, but he's not here right now. Another thing that was really interesting and weird and didn't feel like SNL is, I don't know if you noticed, but there was no actual weekend update.
Yes, I did notice that. I thought that I wrote it down what the name of it was. I thought something else replaced. I was going to ask you about that.
Saturday Night News.
Yeah, does that replace the weekly report?
So essentially in 1980, they once Lauren leaves, Weekend Update went with them. I don't know if he chose that, like, you can't use this with me not there, or if they were like, well, we'll try other things while he's gone.
Right.
But yeah,
I enjoyed the Saturday Night News much better than the Weekend Update.
Yeah, but I think that's because of the person who's the Weekend Update anchor and not necessarily Weekend Update. I think you'll enjoy it more with new people.
Okay, that's fair.
But you don't like Chevy Chase, so I don't think you're going to like Weekend Update because it's a lot of Chevy Chase.
It is. It's all Chevy Chase.
But they had a different name before Saturday Night News in the 80s. I think Saturday Night News was, I think I read like 82 or 84 or 83. I mean,
okay.
Up until, and then when Lorne Michaels comes back, Weekend Update comes back and it never leaves.
Okay.
I didn't know it left at all until I watched this, and I'm like, where the hell is Weekend Update? I'm very sad because Weekend Update's a segment that when I was a kid, I didn't really appreciate and like, because I didn't give a crap about news.
Right, because what kid
does? As an adult, Weekend Update's one of my favorite segments now. So I was very sad to see it not there. And that we also didn't get the live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, I noticed. I thought maybe because the way it started, I thought at first I had missed something.
So a lot of things are different when Lauren is not there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it just wasn't there.
I've never seen Saturday Night Not Live with this cast. I think I did know Billy Crystal was on there at one time. I knew that Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which that's a big name. I'm sure. Did you recognize her? If you watched Seinfeld at all, yeah. So I knew they were cast members, but I never actually saw them as cast members. So this was my first time. I also majorly knew about Martin Short, but I didn't know he was on there without Lauren. I did not know that. He was gone for a short time. So anyways, so we watched the October 6th, 1984 episode of Saturday Night Live, season 10, episode 1. I feel like we should continue this with 5-year intervals.
Yes.
So
I like
maybe
it.
Next time we go with 1989.
Yes. That's a great idea.
I think, that would be kind of fun. Anyways, no host. Apparently the host did.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did the host really do that, or did they not schedule a host?
It really did that. A couple other weird things about this episode is
it's like, really, they couldn't find a host? You know what I mean?
Well, you got to realize if someone cancels last minute, that host is there for that whole week. Traditionally, when a host comes, he comes at the beginning of the week. He helps with the writing. He helps with a lot of stuff.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize he did all of that.
Yeah, it's not like the host is there just on Saturday and then just is hosting.
I figured he was there for Friday and Saturday.
No, he's there for most of the week. So
Okay.
it's kind of a commitment. It's not as simple as,
Right.
but yeah, so let me see. I saw this. Yeah, so Billy Crystal was the unofficial host. Um they considered this like an all-star episode. This is the fourth episode without a fixed host, apparently. Um but yeah, this was just all kind of this was also an interesting episode because they were not at their studio. 8H is what it's called,
Mm-hmm.
or I call it 30 Rock. Um
Why? Is that the
well,
address?
yeah, that's the
Oh.
so the show 30 Rock with
Yes.
Tina Fey. That's based on she made that show kind of based on her time as a writer and a cast member at
Oh,
Saturday Night
okay.
Live. Because she used to
I've
be on,
not seen the show.
yeah, like the whole show is about her essentially being the Lorne Michaels and running a Saturday Night Live type sketch show.
Oh, okay. Is it a good show?
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Is it still on?
No, it went. I want to say 7 seasons,
Oh, that's long.
but they were not at the main show studio because of election coverage, which necessitated that the first 5 shows of the season were broadcast from 2 smaller studios on different floors, 3A and 8G. The opening theme is also noticeably pre-recorded during these shows, so that because normally
Wait, I've got a question. So was there no live audience? Was it a laugh track?
I don't know.
I thought to myself,
no, there was audience because they mention a couple times Jamie Lee Curtis was there because her husband was in the cast at the time.
Okay.
Or her soon-to-be husband. They said the camera scanned the audience before commercial break. And the show's audience was 2-time SNL host Jamie Lee Curtis. On-screen text, they did that on-screen text thing that they used to do. Says really thinks this is Donahue. Not long after she married Christopher Guest, who debuted on the show that night. So
that's cool.
So yeah. Couple things about the show. Yeah, and they use that intro because normally Saturday Night Live actually has the band perform the intro every episode. So it's not like they don't record
I
it.
didn't realize.
Yeah, the band, the Saturday Night Live band is playing that intro at the beginning of every episode. And normally Don Pardo, who does the announcement, he's the host or the narrator or whatever you want to call him,
right?
He announces like Chevy Chase and he announces the people. I don't know if Pardo is there at this time though because of all this, so yeah. But anyways, so we get no host. The cold open, which we didn't get the live from New York, so that was awkward for me.
It was a little weird, even though
you don't like Chevy, but now you're used to it.
I'm like, hey,
and then that's a tradition that goes on to this day, so it was really awkward for me. So we get the cold open, which is the lifestyles of the relatives of the rich and famous. Robin Leach, Harry Shearer, profiles Katharine Hepburn's maternal third cousin, played by Martin Short, Nelson Hepburn, a hot dog vendor in Central Park. This is also the first appearance of Harry Shearer since May 24th, 1980, and Martin Short's first appearance as an SNL cast member. He was originally on SGTV, I think it was called.
Okay.
And a lot of his stuff that he does were from that show.
Oh.
Like he brought it from there to this.
And people like that?
And people like that, like questioning it.
Well, yeah, because it's like, they didn't want new stuff. Like they were okay with him just bringing.
They were popular.
An old bit, you know what I mean?
I'm assuming that SNL allowed it because they were really popular where he was, and so. But
and then they must have been his characters for the show that he was on, not to be like, no, you.
Sometimes he stopped by
sorry.
here.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I have a new segment. I didn't expect it to just start right away. I was just trying to get it ready so I could put it up here.
That's funny.
But anyways, I have a new segment that I made. And apparently I placed our logo in the wrong spot because it's right over the StreamYard thing. I'm just kind of noticing this. I can't move it. Unfortunate. I'll have to fix that for later times I do this. But anyways, what I did here is I made a little video that shows. So I don't know if you realize this, but Martin Short was doing an Hepburn parody for this bit.
No, I didn't realize.
He was doing a male version of Katharine Hepburn. And what I got here is a comparison where I show you both of them just so you can kind of get the idea of the impersonation, okay?
Yes, I'm going to love that because I was going to say I have no idea what that person would sound like.
Well, here it is.
One time she stopped by here, and I said, Kate, don't you know me? And she just looked at me and she said, more mustard, please, and walked away. I take each Sunday. Sunday's mine. It always was. And I get up around 4:30 or 5. I sleep really late. And then I read the paper. I have a huge bowl of bread. For the next 3 hours, I'm indisposed, and then I phone friends.
In a big family, and I was brought up great. Just brought up great. I had a fascinating mother, a fascinating father, and a wonderful childhood. I really did. And I have a wonderful family now, and I have my roots in the same place that I was brought up, and I'm extraordinarily lucky. And that's just luck.
It's just luck.
It's just luck.
That's the thing about it.
Oh, he's so good.
So good, wasn't it?
So good. I enjoy it so much more now.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. So yeah, here's a fun part. That was an interview that she did in 1984, same year that this came out.
Okay.
Or maybe it was 83. With Dick Cavett, who we saw on the last episode that we reviewed. Yeah, I saw that she had an interview with Dick Cavett. I had to choose that option.
Right.
Because it's around the time that he's doing this parody.
And it's perfect. Like, he's spot on.
First off, are you super familiar with Katharine Hepburn?
Sure am not.
Okay, so she was an American actress whose career as a Hollywood leading lady spanned 6 decades. She was known for her headstrong independence, spirited personality, and outspokenness.
Why do I want to say Audrey Hepburn instead of Katharine Hepburn?
Because there is an Audrey Hepburn, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Might be her daughter or her mother. I don't know. Cultivating a screen persona that matched this public image and regularly playing strong-willed, sophisticated women, she worked in a varied range of genres from screwball comedy to literary drama, which earned her various accolades, including her 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, a record for any performer. This was also not, I suppose we should also point out, this was not on the NBC version. So we got a very shortened version.
Yes, very short.
Of the episode, which my co-host at first thought it was just...
I was like, oh, okay, they're short now, or at least short this time.
Yeah. No, due to
How did you know it wasn't like? How did you know?
well, first off,
Or-
I know that Saturday Night Live is always an hour and a half. So when I
Okay.
see a 29-minute version of Saturday Night Live, I know that things have been cut off.
Okay.
Not to mention, it seems like you've forgotten. I do a bunch of research on these episodes.
That's true.
So I know I go to a website that tells me what every skit is supposed to be and in what order. So when I start
Oh.
reading this and not seeing the skits that I expect to see, I
Right.
realize that. Plus, I thought it was weird that there was no cold open, which apparently
Right.
there was no live from New. Now, this order is going to be a little off because even in the one we watched, it was mixed around.
Oh, okay.
So I'm reading this based on what the article that I found that told me what the order was when it first came out.
Okay.
So we found another way to watch the whole episode. I'll just say that without going into incrimination situations.
I just clicked the link, man.
Yeah.
I just clicked the link.
Well, I found it online somewhere. Let's just say that. Or for legal purposes, I had an episode recorded. I had an episode recorded on a DVD somewhere. Let's just say that.
There you go.
Next, we get a Billy Crystal monologue, which I found Billy Crystal kind of funny. It was it was a decently funny monologue.
Yes.
I've never I've seen Billy Crystal. I mean, obviously, one of my favorite roles of his is Mike Wazowski,
right,
from the Monsters Inc. movies. I also seem to remember enjoying City Slickers when I was a kid because he was the star of the movie City Slickers, and I believe I watched the first and the second one when I was young. I don't remember it at all as an adult, but I remember it fondly from my memories, but not what happened, just that I remembered that I liked it.
I watched it as an adult because my husband was like, it's someone in his family, a whole bunch of people in his family's favorite movie. And it's funny as an adult. Even.
I haven't seen it.
It was enjoyable,
but I've never seen a stand-up. I guess another role. I can't believe I'm not thinking of this, and it hasn't happened yet at this point. And this monologue reminded me of it constantly. Is The Princess Bride?
Yes,
because he does that voice. He's like, oh, ma.
yes,
mostly dead.
Miss that.
I didn't miss it. I recognized it when I was watching the episode.
Oh, I didn't. I was like,
he's in The Princess Bride, and mostly dead. Mostly dead means that. Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, what
love
a
the
great
Princess
music.
Bride. I love the Princess, but that's Billy Crystal in Princess Bride, and he's doing this voice that he does in the monologue, which I thought was really cool. Then we get, so this is what it says, which we did eventually. I put missing here, but it actually does show up in the NBC. No, it doesn't. It doesn't show in the NBC version, but it shows up later in the version we watched. And that was this Olympic 1984 special report. After the Summer Olympics end, each leg of the Olympic torch's journey from Los Angeles to Greece is traced. This was cute. They're like going to a homeless man, and then they just like.
I liked it, like hanging out the bus with like the blocking it.
Yeah. This was funny. It was a simple little sketch, and I liked it.
Yes, it was. Cute.
Then we get Rich Hall's election report. I don't know anything about Rich Hall. I guess he's a comedian. When I looked it up, he takes an inside look at Walter Mondale's high price fundraising dinner. Walter Mondale is the person going for election in 1984 against.
Was he a real person?
I'm assuming Reagan. Walter Mondale or Rich Hall?
The guy that the fundraiser was for.
Walter Mondale? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And you see a parody of him or an impersonation of him later on.
Okay.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah, he was running, and I think he was running with a woman for the first time. He failed. He lost to, I believe, Ronald Reagan, I think, is who won in 1984. If I'm not mistaken, I think Reagan was the main president during the 80s. But he was the person going against Reagan, I believe, on the it would have been. I think Reagan was a Republican, so he would have been the Democratic ticket. Walter Mondale, someone I've never heard of because 1984, I was 2 years old. Okay, right. Guess what? 2-year-olds don't give a shit about the presidential election of 1984.
Exactly.
So I
was born in 83, so I was never 2. I wasn't even 2.
Yeah, you weren't even 2. Okay, so you cared even less.
Right?
We were shitting our
diapers.
Like,
where is the bottle?
Yeah, where's the bottle? Next we get an iconic character that I'm gonna guess you've never heard of.
Who was next?
This was, I believe,
Wheel of Fortune
on
guy?
the NBC. This was the Wheel of Fortune interview.
Okay.
Suicidal Mr. Quigley, played by Christopher Guest, which I don't know if you know who Christopher Guest is.
I didn't know.
I didn't know who he was either until I listened to a podcast on this episode. Christopher Guest was one of the members of Spinal Tap, which I don't know if you know anything about Spinal Tap, but it's a mockumentary that was made.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, he was one of the members of Spinal Tap, and he's currently on Saturday Night Live at this time. Okay. Anyways, Christopher Guest interviews excitable Pat Sajak superfan Ed Grimley, played by Martin Short, for a contestant spot on Wheel of Fortune. Ed Grimley was one of the major character from SCTV. Yes.
Okay.
He was from SCTV with Martin Short. He brought it over to Saturday Night Live. I remember Ed Grimley as a kid. Like, this is a very popular sketch.
Yeah.
Not this one specifically, but that character.
I thought the character was funny. Like the way he was so animated. Like, yeah. I
love Martin Short. And yeah, this is one of his most popular characters.
I could see why.
And remember, this is Martin Short's first episode. Like, he got a lot of,
he did.
He got a lot of time. Like, this was dominated between Martin Short and Billy Crystal.
And it was funny.
It was funny.
It was a very funny episode.
So what were your thoughts on this one?
I liked it. I thought he was really funny, like the animation with his hands. Like, he was just
I like how he just doesn't realize this man's suicidal, and then the guy tries to commit suicide and lands on him. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna come with you. All right, let's go.
Like, you are so happy.
It was cute. I thought it was weirdly dark, but also cute.
Yes.
So next,
I enjoyed it.
Next sketch we get is Grandpa Howard.
Oh, yes.
No longer on Monday Night Football, Howard Cosell, played by Billy Crystal. Now, I'm not sure.
I wanted to know, was this a parody of someone?
Aha. And guess what? I have another video.
Oh, all right.
So Howard Cosell was an American sports journalist, broadcaster, and author. I've actually heard of Howard Cosell before. Cosell became a prominent influential during his tenure with ABC Sports from 1953 until 1985. But yeah, it's Howard Cosell, and this is a pretty good parody. And let me show you the video that I have for Howard Cosell.
Okay.
Hello again, everyone. It's good to have you with us for this event. It figures to be an exceptional one that doesn't need any build-up.
The rest of Monday night is given over to those gargantuan Goliaths of the gridiron for that bouncing behemoth ballet known better as professional football.
You can sit for us tonight, Grandpa.
Me too, kiddo. It's Monday night. Where the hell am I going?
Doesn't do that laugh, though.
Well, tomorrow I'm addressing the NAB convention. Then on to Detroit for a luncheon honoring George Sparky Anderson. then off to Waco, Texas for the Clue Goliga Golf Tournament. Then I get on the corporate jet to San Francisco to meet with Governor Duke Major. The Duke! Then on to Los Angeles for the Battle of the Network Stars, where I get to see Joan Collins and her succulent lower lip. I'm so tired of it all. Hey, Brian, hey, Brian, give me that. I don't let Ali do that. Get over here, you. Come here, you. Come here.
The funny thing about that Ali line is, I guess Howard Cosell had a very famous interview with Muhammad Ali. But it's a pretty damn good parody as well. It
is. I'm so like, these parodies are so much better than the other ones.
Oh, wait till you get to ones that you actually know the actor that they're making fun of.
Right?
I mean,
because it's like they're so good. I'm like, they've got to be. It's got to be a parody. You know what I mean? I was like, it's so good. It's got to be.
Yeah, it was a fun parody, but yeah, I thought it would be cool, and I'll probably try to do this more often. I've got my own. I got my little TV set up now.
I love it.
But yeah, if we have parodies, unfortunately, a lot of parodies aren't done in the early seasons, because Chevy Chase doesn't know how to do a parody.
Right? I was just gonna say.
Let's be honest.
Someone sucks at them.
Somebody sucks at them, yeah. But yeah, I'll try to do that more often. But yeah, so what did you think of this sketch?
I liked it, especially now that I knew it was a parody, but I thought it was, because it was like, this guy is so over the top.
Oh,
and then I was like, and then the way, like the story was so boring that you're selling the kids.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I also find this boring. I have no idea what you're talking about.
One thing that I enjoyed was when he turned on the TV, you got the old, like, it took me back. It was the old HBO like sound that you get at the beginning of an HBO movie back in the day. Yeah, takes me back. So next we get another iconic. This is considered one of the greatest sketches of all time.
Which one is it?
The synchronized swimming.
Oh my God, I hated it.
Gerald, Harry Shearer, and Lawrence Arbach, Martin Short chase their dream of competing in the Olympics.
I thought it was terrible. People really love it.
This is considered one of the best sketches of all time.
Oh my God, I hated it.
Just like Martin Short not knowing how to swim and then trying to do synchronized swimming is actually a thing in the Olympics now, but back then it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was. They mentioned that in the sketch that
I know. I thought they were joking.
They were training for it's not in the Olympics right now, but we're hoping it will be. And
I thought it was a joke.
It was. I mean,
I thought they meant like that men, like two men synchronized swimming wasn't in the Olympics because it's like a whole team.
No, it was that. Well, I know they do synchronized diving because I literally watched the Olympics a lot, and one of the things I watched was synchronized diving. So, but I'm pretty sure synchronized swimming does show up eventually.
Right, I'm saying synchronized swimming is in the Olympics, so I thought he was saying that synchronized swimming with just two men.
Oh, you thought it was just men? No.
Yeah, because I was like, I've seen synchronized swimming, but it's almost always women. But also it's a whole team. It's not just two people. So I thought he was trying to get like a duo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess I don't really know, but I'm looking it up real quick. I guess I should have. I didn't realize we were going to have such a.
Oh no, it's okay. I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
No. I enjoy most other things.
It's called artistic swimming now, apparently.
Oh, I guess because it's not all synchronized, because they do other stuff, like they lift them all up. That's
in 1984 they did add synchronized swimming.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't when I could think they were trying to play it off like that wasn't when they were training. I don't know,
Oh,
but it looks like 1984 was the first year for synchronized swimming.
okay.
So,
That makes a little more sense.
but no, I enjoy it. It's Martin Short being silly. I mean, the idea of them trying to go in the Olympics and he can't even swim and he's wearing a freaking life jacket, like,
Yeah, I don't know.
and you just didn't like it, huh?
No.
Ugh. Wow, just wow. I don't know what to do with you. Um, well, let me ask, why didn't you like it? Like, what did you not like about it?
It was boring. It was like I guess I didn't think it was funny. Like it was
I
just
like
like
I like the goofy facial expressions while they're doing like the ooh, it's so- I like the stupidity of I like a good stupid
no, I just remember
thing.
thinking like, oh gosh, I should fast forward.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
But that's why I bring you on here. You have a wholly fresh perspective, I suppose.
It's different, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. So I'm actually
so glad you tolerate me, Stephen.
I'm actually surprised because I kind of thought when I was watching this, I'm like, she's not gonna like Ed Grimley, but she'll like the synchronized swimming. And then it was reversed. Like I didn't expect you liking Ed Grimley, but I thought you would like this.
Ed Grimley was so over the top. It was funny. I don't know. It was also I don't feel like it was as long as this.
Okay, so sure.
You know how I feel about those long sketches. That just go on and on.
But yeah, this is one that is like on Best of Saturday Night Live. This is one that's how I've seen this because I've never seen this episode,
Oh,
but I've
that's
seen this
funny.
on like a Best of Martin Short, I think. Next, we get Mondale and Ferrero. Reminds the audience that the first presidential debates are on tomorrow and criticizes Reagan's defense plans. Geraldine Ferrero shuts him up and introduces the Thompson twins.
Yes.
Yeah, this little short thing, and they were trying to do parodies. I did not do a comparison. Because it was so short, I didn't think it was that important.
I agree.
Then we get the Thompson twins performing "Hold Me Now." What are your thoughts on the Thompson twins? Did you know the song before?
I knew the song. I didn't know who that they sang it. I didn't know who they
I
were.
would have never guessed the Thompson twins either. I'll probably know it for the rest of my life now.
Right, because it's so like
well, because of us doing
and
this
watching them
podcast.
sing the way the one we kept going like singing all normal and then be like
never. I do like this song.
I enjoyed the song too. It was just funny.
This was released in the United Kingdom in late 1983. The song peaked at number 4 on the UK singles chart. In November of that year, it was certified gold by the British phonographic industry in 1983, becoming the band's biggest selling single and their first top 5 in that country. The song was released in the United States in February of 1984. It also became the band's highest charting single there, peaking out at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May, remaining on the chart for 21 weeks. In addition, the song topped Billboard's Hot Dance Club Play chart for 1 week in 1984 of April. Okay.
Oh.
Huh?
I enjoy the song.
I do like this song.
Better than the other one.
I'm not sure it would be a top dance song, but I like this song.
Right?
Now this next one, I'm gonna just spoiler alert right now. I laughed, like uncontrollably laughed out loud while watching it. It was so stupid.
Which one?
The Bulge.
Oh, yes.
A guy, Jim Belushi, learns that the secret to attracting women in bars involves strategically stuffed paper towels.
Yes. That was hilarious. At first, I was like, "Where is he going with
I don't.
this?"
Yeah, what is going on with this?
Like,
And
yes. And then
I
I was like, "What?"
I
And then he
laughed.
walked out.
I laughed so hard. The fact, like,
And the way the women
I
were
was
like,
expecting like just like a small little bulge. I knew where this was going.
I was expecting a big bulge, but I wasn't expecting
They went
a human
cartoonishly.
size,
They went cartoonishly large, and I guess there was
like a
something.
whole person.
I guess there was something about the sensors, like they didn't want it to be realistic. Like the sensors
So
was
they
worried
had to
about.
go gigantic.
So they went ridiculous with it, and I literally could not stop laughing. Like this is such a hilarious and dumb sketch.
And you know it was written by a man because here's why.
No woman gives a
woman
shit about that bulge.
wants that big penis. Nobody a bulge. Nobody
you for
wants
bringing
it.
the woman's perspective in this, but
That's
yeah.
gonna hurt. That's gonna rip you in half.
Indeed.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah,
Nobody.
that was
like 5-6 inches is good. That's all we want. Anything more than that is too much.
Fair enough. Good to know.
Too much. Nobody wants a foot long unless it's a hot dog with some chili and cheese. Okay.
Or a sub from Subway.
Yes.
But anyways, so yeah,
on to the next topic.
I laughed so hard. I loved this sketch. I don't know if it's my favorite of the. I think it is my favorite of the night because
it was hilarious.
I didn't laugh as hard from any other sketch we watched other than this, and I just busted up over this stupid sketch.
It was so funny.
And then we get
and the way I love the way they made it like super like bumpy and like it was like
it was just
clearly stuffed.
It was so unrealistically big.
It was clearly stuffed. It was hilarious. And I love that the rest of his pants fit him the right way.
I think he knocked over some things with it.
Yes,
too.
yes,
So
it was hilarious. I love it.
We get Saturday Night News with Fernando Lamas by Billy Crystal, discussing the Betty Ford Clinic as the hot new resort and suggests stars in career slumps check in for the publicity.
That was so funny.
You like this one?
Yes, didn't you?
It was okay. I mean, I didn't. I mean, it wasn't laugh out loud funny like the bulge.
It wasn't like the bulge. I thought it was funny. First of all, his accent. What did he say? I wrote it down. He kept saying it over and over again. Marvelous or something?
Marvelous.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll come out looking marvelous.
Apparently, this is a popular character he does. I don't know. This is the first I've ever seen it.
It's the first I've seen it. It was funny.
The next sketch I thought was kind of funny was the First Draft Theater.
Yes.
Raymond Chandler, voiced by Harry Shearer, works out the kinks in the big sleep.
Yes, this is funny.
I liked how they kept playing.
Is anyone who's ever written anything like it's so accurate?
It's so good. Yeah, it was good.
You're like, wait a minute, this is terrible. Let me just delete the last 3 pages I wrote.
Delete. Yeah, I liked it. It was a good sketch.
It was funny. I liked everything about it.
And I do like
really,
a good
really
old.
Funny.
I like a good old fashioned noir. I do enjoy those kind of stories. Next we get Saturday Night News 2 with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, with Bob Guccione, played by Jim Belushi, defending publishing Vanessa Williams' nude pictures, and shows Julia Louis-Dreyfus the next Penthouse exclusive, Lost Dirty Paintings by Norman Rockwell. I liked this one better.
Yes, this one was funnier.
Than Fernando.
Yes, although I really like Fernando.
Yeah, I like this. Like Jim Belushi just being an asshole. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus not liking any of it.
Yes, she looks so young. It's crazy.
I know she is young.
I know, but it's like, man.
But yeah, you like this one too?
Yes, this one was good.
Good. Next we get Book Beat. Larry Thorpe, played by Christopher Guest, recent
Oh, with the
accident
pipe in the head.
involving a 3.5. Yeah, reminds you of the thing we talked about earlier about
Yes.
Phineas Gage, I think his name was.
Yes.
Yeah, and then him just constantly going off topic because his brain's messed up.
I thought it was funny. I wished it was more consistent. Like, I didn't think it made sense the way he was like coherent at first, and then he just got worse and worse. I feel like it should have been like,
Well, that's just part of comedy. You want to like escalate as you go. Most comedy is escalation. So
I can see that.
then we get a short thing of with Martin Short saying that we're running late. It explains that the show is running late, so they will be going back to commercial again. And then we get the Thompson twins performing the single "The Gap."
Do you think they were really running late, or was that a gag?
I'm guessing it was a gag. This is Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. I didn't see it here, read anything otherwise.
That was my only thought there. It was like, was it really late or?
Pamela Stevenson introduces the band as the most appropriately named rock group in the world. The Gap is a song by the British bop group Thompson Twins. It was the title track from the group's 1984 album Into the Gap and was released as a single in certain countries, though not in the group's native UK. The single peaked at 69 in the US, spending 6 weeks.
So childish.
I know. Spending 6 weeks on the US Billboard 100. It also charted in Germany, where it peaked at 62. I'd never heard of The Gap. I've never heard this song before in my life.
No, neither had I.
But I didn't.
And I didn't enjoy it as much as the other one.
Well, I mean, I had familiarity with the other one, so, but it wasn't bad. I didn't think it was a bad song. It was all right.
It was all right, but I liked the other one better.
Fair enough. I did too, because I know it. And that was pretty much it.
That was it. It was good though. I liked the episode. I like the skipping ahead. It's fun.
It is fun. I like it. Although I'm kind of excited to get back to where we were. But yeah, I did like skipping ahead, and I do think that we should go with 5 years.
Yes, I like the 5-year idea.
Probably should have done that first and went to 1980, but it's fine.
Should have.
But we didn't think about it. It's all good.
We could go back.
We could. But
we'll just keep going forward.
Let's go forward because I'm excited about doing 1989. Or
why?
15 because that's when early 90s is when I started getting into Saturday Night Live. So one of my favorite casts is like around that time period with Adam Sandler, David Spade, Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, Jane Hooks. Like, this is my ultimate cast for me, because these are the guys that I got it. And like, I became an Adam Sandler fan because of Saturday Night Live. I became a fan of his before his movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I liked Saturday Night Live, and I liked Sandler.
I didn't know he was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, that's
because I only knew him from his movies.
He got his start on Saturday Night Live, and then his movies started taking off after he left. But yeah, have you ever heard the Lunch Lady Land song, or like
yes,
or like his Hanukkah song?
Yes,
he
those
started
are from Saturday Night Live.
He first sang those on Saturday Night Live on Weekend Update.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. He would just bring out his gut. I think that's one thing that I like, because I like comedy music. That's one thing that really got me into Adam Sandler is him. Who would bring his guitar and sing a song. It's like, hey guys, I want to sing a Thanksgiving song, or like he would be like, he would sing Hanukkah. He's like, there's not a lot of songs for us Jewish kids, so I wrote a Jewish Hanukkah song, and then He wrote that, and then that became popular, and he made a bunch of different versions on his albums.
Right?
I had Adam Sandler albums too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I
I
remember
had
one
Adam Sandler posters above my bed.
Waterboy. Happy Gilmore, perhaps.
The Wedding Singer.
I forgot you're a girl. I should have guessed. Although, although
I loved him in all of those. And what was it? 50 First Dates.
Yeah. In fairness, though, The Wedding Singer is one of my top 3 favorite love stories.
Yeah, I do love it. I hate love stories, but I do love that movie.
My 3 favorite love stories is The Wedding Singer, The Princess Bride, and A Life Less Ordinary.
I would agree with the first 2, but I don't think I've seen the third.
Oh,
I hate love stories.
A lot of people think it. So some people think it's weird, because it is a weird movie. It stars Obi-Wan.
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
I know my Star Wars. I'm married to a Star Wars geek. Okay, I know my Star Wars.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I've seen all the Star Wars.
All the Star Wars.
And I've read some of the books and listened to some of the audiobooks. Yes, I know my Star Wars.
Well, you also like fantasy and stuff, so
I do.
But yeah, it has Cameron Diaz and Ewan McGregor in it. It also has Holly Hunter.
Name sounds familiar, but I don't know who she is.
You would recognize Holly Hunter as possibly Mrs. Incredible from The Incredibles. Do you recognize her voice?
Maybe.
Have you not seen The Incredibles?
I have, but I
Elastigirl.
I know who it is. I'm just telling you, I don't know that I would recognize her name.
Well, anyways, the story is about a desperate guy who gets fired from his job. He's a janitor. That's Ewan McGregor. He likes romance novels, and he gets fired for essentially writing his novels on the job.
Writing his novels on the job. Okay.
Yeah, and so he gets mad because he gets replaced by this it's kind of like it's like a Roomba before Roombas. It's like a little robot that they make to clean up, to do janitor work. He gets mad. He grabs the Roomba and he goes up to his boss's office, and his boss is talking to a girl who's played by Cameron Diaz. And he gets mad and he's like, these things you can't replace a person with a robot. And he tries to throw it out the window, and it bounces off the window and starts cleaning. And then he gets tackled to the ground by security, and then one of the guards drops their gun, and she actually kicks the gun to him.
Oh wow.
And he's with the gun, he's like, what's going on? And she keeps interrupting him as he's yelling at the boss for firing him. And he's like, who the hell are you? And the boss is like, don't say it, don't say it. She's like, oh, I'm his daughter. And she kind of orchestrates it for him to kidnap her.
Oh.
So he ties her up, right? And and then he goes to bed and then wakes up and she's gone. And then he finds out she's making breakfast.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, why didn't you run? She's like, I didn't want to. And he's like, did you make me breakfast? She's like, no, you tied me up. That was rude. And so they pretty much orchestrate a plan where he pretends that he actually kidnapped her and that she is in danger, and she's kind of the one orchestrating the whole thing. And he's such a sweet guy. I mean, if you know Ewan McGregor, he plays the part great. And like he tries to call, and she's like, all right, you got to call and demand ransom and threaten to cut my fingers off or something. And he's like, I'm going to cut your fucking fingers off. You do not. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, not your daughter. No, I'm sure you have a lovely daughter. And so she like shows him what to do.
Oh, that's
And
hilarious.
and she mentions that she's been kidnapped a couple times and like she knows how to do. So yeah, but then there's this whole weird story on the side where heaven is mad. God is mad because so many people are ending in divorce. Like love is not continuing, right?
Right.
So he sends these angels that are kind of like cupids almost. These angels, their job is to get people together. She's like, this is your last assignment. If this fails, this is over. We're done. Keep trying to get love on earth. And so their job, so they pretend to be bounty hunters for the dad. But they're trying to like bring like intensity to get them to be together.
Right.
But they're actually starting to fall in love, but they don't realize it, so they're just like going nuts. It's a crazy movie with angels and kidnapping and fake kidnapping, and it's one of my
What's it called
favorite love
again?
stories. A Life Less Ordinary.
Okay.
It's a 90s movie. But I really enjoy it's great. But we just rambled on about not in Saturday Night Live. So so I think we should probably end this because we're done
right.
with the episode.
Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe and do all the fun
all
stuff.
that, yeah.
And Steven will tell you where to follow
Dragon
him.
Blazer Productions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And you can find me at Dragon Blazer Pro on the X. You can find me at Lorne Michaels. We'll Hate This SNL group on Facebook. So yeah, you can find me on all the things.
And you can find me here.
And you can find her here. So
I suck at the socials. I'm anti-socials.
Anti-socials. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening.
See you next week.
Have a pleasant tomorrow.
Yes.